This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Christmas has ended. All of the presents have been unwrapped. Now it's time to throw away all of those boxes. But law enforcement around the country are telling people to be very careful about how they package their trash. ABC7's Dwayne Lindo explains.
When Fallon Miller took out her trash Monday morning, she never thought about thieves trying to target her home.
I've never really heard of it. I've never actually really thought of it.
But now she has. Law enforcement nationwide are warning people not to advertise their possessions outside their home. They say thieves will drive up and down streets and alleys looking for homes they may want to target later. They look for evidence of valuables, such as empty laptop, game systems, or television boxes.
Now that you bring it up, something I'm going to be paying attention to, and I think it should be more of an awareness for people.
But for some residents, breaking down boxes of high-priced Christmas items, such as this box, is something that's done on a regular basis.
Anything that looks like it might be of value is in a bag or something that's not easily, noticeable from the street as they're driving by. Just make sure it's kind of hidden away so you can't really see anything.
For Bruce Panner, it can be as easy as taking boxes of pricey items to a recycling center if you're uncomfortable with them being hidden. And as for Miller, it's about backing up her neighbors as well.
If you don't recognize people or if you see anything suspicious, people do report it, and, just keep an eye out around your neighborhood.
And this time of year, thieves also keep an eye out for people who are not home or on a long vacation. Police say you should not post or advertise online when you won't be home. Locking your doors, keeping some lights on, or having a neighbor get your mail, just some of the ways to keep burglars away. The federal government is giving the state of Florida $81.5 million in grants to go toward homeless assistance programs. The grants are being awarded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. They will go toward 319 programs in the state. The largest grant will be used for the Miami-Dade County Homeless Trust. Here on the Suncoast, $871,000 will go to the Sarasota-Bradenton area. Officials say the funding will help maintain and expand housing and services for those who are homeless, including military veterans. The Salvation Army in Sarasota is moving more and more people from homeless to housed thanks to their Quality of Life by Choice program. Since the program was created more than a year ago, more than 700 people have gone through this program, and now more than 50% of those people are in permanent housing. The Salvation Army tells us it's about a larger shift in mentality from providing temporary shelter to instead providing the resources needed for long-term solutions and reducing chronic homelessness.
We make a collaborative plan of action that helps them towards their priorities. When you help someone in the direction they want to go, then the resources needed get stretched a lot further. They're able to get there a lot faster, and everyone is much happier about the progress.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, we talk to someone currently going through this program and find out why it's so unique. President-elect Donald Trump is one day closer to taking office, and the work continues to fill his cabinet. But he's already trying to put out potential fires on both the domestic and international fronts. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest on the transition.
This week is back to work for Donald Trump in his transition. After a Christmas church service standing ovation, the president-elect is still celebrating the holidays in South Florida. Not even sworn in yet, and he's already weighing in on foreign policy. Both Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu upset over the White House's decision to allow a UN resolution condemning Israel's expansion of settlements.
I look forward to working with those friends and with the new administration when it takes office next month.
The Obama administration pushed back against Trump on CNN.
After January 20th, he will be responsible for the conduct of American policy. Until January 20th, President Obama is. That's how it works, just one president at a time.
But a President Trump will walk into the Oval Office at a popularity low compared to every president since Dwight Eisenhower. Trump's at 42% as he continues to deal with his business interests in his family foundation, which he promised to dissolve. New York's Attorney General says that won't happen right away since his office is still investigating concerns about how the foundation collected and gave out money.
I think Donald Trump and many of his staff understand that the thing that would most likely anchor Donald Trump with problems is all of the conflicts related to his business and the foundation. He's figured that out.
Trump's newly appointed White House communications director has already backed out of the job. 2 days after the announcement, transition spokesman Jason Miller said he needs to put his family first. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
President Obama and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe will visit Pearl Harbor tomorrow. Abe plans on paying tribute to those who died during Japan's attack on the naval base in Hawaii. He'll be the first Japanese leader to do so since the end of World War II. The visit was first announced earlier this month on the 75th anniversary of the bombing at Pearl Harbor. Abe implied a few weeks ago that his visit was in return for President Obama visiting Hiroshima earlier this year. And now let's head over to John for a check on our forecast.
Haley, thanks. This is the Van WEZEL webcam looking out over Sarasota Bay, and it's pretty nice right now. Beautiful sunset in progress. A time lapse over the last 6 hours shows that we started the morning off with fairly quiet conditions. Tomorrow morning, probably a little bit of fog around the region. Some fair weather clouds have moved through, and now as the sun sets, as I mentioned earlier, beautiful conditions out there with those clouds just kind of reflecting some of the setting sun's brilliant colors. Deep blue sky back behind those clouds, so it's a nice day. We're looking at really warm temperatures, though. 86 degrees, our high temperature today, broke last year's record of 85. That's 2 days in a row we've broken records. Morning low was at 65, and that's about where we'll be tomorrow as well. We were above average warmth on both the morning low and the daytime high. A few scattered showers have tried to work their way in on a pretty brisk easterly wind flow. Transported from the other coast, they hit the drier air over our neck of the woods, and they kind of just fizzled out. Overnight tonight, I think we'll see some pretty nice conditions. Radar not showing anything currently across our region. We'll head into the evening with an overnight low of about 65 like we did this morning, but we may see some patchy fog forming toward dawn. Complete forecast, including some really cooler temperatures coming our way in a minute, Haley.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, John. The Christmas weekend proved to be even more deadly in Chicago this year than last year. Police say a dozen people were killed and more than 40 others were wounded in shootings across this weekend, all across Chicago. The most recent shooting last night left 2 men dead and 5 others injured. There were 5 earlier shootings on Christmas Day that left 5 people dead. Chicago's police superintendent says most of these shootings have a common thread.
We now know that the majority of these shootings and homicides were targeted attacks by gangs against potential rival gang members and groups who were at holiday gatherings.
Last year, during the Christmas holiday weekend, 30 people were shot in Chicago, with 6 people who died. A follow-up now on the deadly warehouse fire in California. The families of 2 fire victims have filed lawsuits against several people. They're suing the building owner, party promoters, the city of Oakland, and Alameda County for the warehouse fire earlier this month. 36 people were killed. More than 10 complaints were filed about this warehouse, according to city records. The building had not been inspected in 30 years.
There was no fire alarms, no means of exiting safely. There were makeshift stairs from the second floor where the event was happening. There were no smoke alarms. No way for these people to escape the inferno that happened.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation. If you're already thinking about tossing out your tree, there are some restrictions. In Sarasota County, you must schedule a pickup with Waste Management for trees that are more than 6 feet tall, or you can cut them in half. Make sure you take off all of the tinsel, ornaments, and other decorations before you put it by the curb. Sarasota garbage pickup will stick to its normal schedule this week. In Manatee County, real Christmas trees will be picked up in January. They must also be cleared of decorations and should not be placed in a plastic bag. And still to come on your Suncoast News, a warning about overindulging over the holidays. Hard to do, right? How too much drinking and eating can do lasting damage to your heart. That's coming up in Health News. It's been an emotional time politically and socially this year.
But during a season when hearts are a little more open to love, we want to talk about good things to believe in.
We believe in service and making a difference in others' lives. We believe in hearing the other point of view.
We believe in being kind, no matter how busy the day is. We believe friends and family are the best recipe in your kitchen.
We hope you believe too.
Happy holidays from ABC7, your Suncoast News.
At SWC Properties, we pride ourselves in providing to you the very best in customer satisfaction, and the secret's getting out. Maybe that's why so many people have chosen to list their homes with our friendly and qualified agents. After all, it only makes sense to list with a growing agency that markets in so many places. To list your home with SWC, give us a call at our office and ask for Teresa Witt.
ABC7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store of choice. Powered by the iAssociates, providing Sight for Life.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-658-3433. 800-658-3433.
Sarasota, we're uncorking something special at Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room. Shop in a relaxed atmosphere with our wine specialists. You'll find 1,000 international wines, 200 under $20. National brand and boutique liquors at competitive pricing. Handcrafted beers. Stop by Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room today and let us show you something exceptional.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
The holiday season pressure is on to eat, drink, and be merry. ABC7's Alex Redmond explains how overindulging may lead to a condition called holiday heart. Alex.
That's right, Haley. Even if you don't overindulge the rest of the year, you may want to curb your enthusiasm for holiday excess because it may impact your heart health.
Holiday heart is a term used to describe patients that around this time of the year tend to drink too much, eat too much, and have a sudden change in their level of physical activity.
Symptoms can almost mimic that of a heart attack, says Dr. Albert Avila of the Center for Urgent Care. A fast heartbeat, a hard time catching their breath, even pressure on the chest.
Holiday heart can be atrial fibrillation or an SVT. There's two different kinds of irregular heart activity. SVT, supraventricular tachycardia, a little different than atrial fibrillation.
The holiday season means that we are surrounded by lots of food that we normally wouldn't eat the rest of the year. And also there's a lot of drinking involved.
Instead of having a martini, I had 2 glasses of wine, and that's it. And then I tried to keep the food at a minimum.
I think normally we eat salads and vegetables and maybe fish, and we're very cautious because of his heart issues what we do eat.
Jeanette Zidane says she and her husband David are going to a cocktail party New Year's Eve, which involves heavy hors d'oeuvres.
Stuffed mushrooms and like pigs in a blanket, and yes, they're going to be gourmet hors d'oeuvres, but those usually have a lot of butter, pastries, things you just don't normally eat.
You don't have to eat tons of food to overindulge, says Zidane.
You can overindulge in eating the wrong things.
The problem is when you overindulge, you suffer from that. And that's one of the things I don't want to do, is suffer from overindulging.
I think you just have to maybe eat the right things before dinner, and then when dinner comes along, be very picky.
Although uncomfortable, holiday heart doesn't usually stick around when we get back to our healthier routines.
Usually those symptoms can go away as long as people catch it early before it gets any worse.
But, explains Dr. Avila, it's very difficult for patients to be able to tell the difference between holiday heart and a bigger problem.
That's why it would be important, if they have these symptoms, to seek medical attention as soon as possible.
And although less common, excessive physical activity can also bring on holiday heart syndrome. So be careful when lifting up those grandkids and suitcases when you're traveling.
And we have a lot of stress because as much as we love our family, that can bring on some stress too. So,
lots of it.
Yes, try to be patient with all your family members. But Alex, what are some tips to help avoid triggering that holiday heart through what we eat and drink?
Well, one of the things that Mrs. Zidane said was make sure that you eat before you go to that party, and sometimes that's hard to do. But another thing that you can do is take little tiny samples of everything. Just take a little amount and put that on your plate, and just if somebody tries to pressure you, don't cave into the pressure, because guilt is a wasted emotion. You want to take care of yourself first, because they would feel far more guilty if something happened to you at their party than if you were guilty for not eating the food that they presented you with.
I like the moderation, just little samples of everything. Yeah. All right, thank you, Alex. Now let's head over to John, who's in for Bob tonight with our forecast.
I guess that's why gym memberships go through this roof on January 1st. We have some fair weather across the region, similar to yesterday. Patty Matt sent this one in of a Christmas catch, she calls it. The Gulls enjoying a feast out there on the waters with beautiful blue skies and a gorgeous setting sun. Same situation today. We have a really, really beautiful sunset because the fair weather clouds, the deep blue sky in the background, really catching the light and producing some very nice color out there. 82 degrees the current air temperature after a record-breaking daytime high of 86 degrees. How about that to finish off the month of December, huh? Or get close to finishing it off. Dew point is at 59, east-southeast wind coming in at about 9. The reason I say finishing it off is because I think today will probably be the warmest day of the week ahead. I don't think we're going to match that warm temperature again. We had a strong easterly wind flow, brought in a little bit of moisture into our area. Still, the moisture across the region was dry enough that the showers as they moved across the state kind of just fizzled out. Hardy and DeSoto saw a few, but locally we're not going to see any more tonight. Everything is very quiet, and the atmosphere is kind of at peace right now. Tomorrow morning, however, we may see a little bit of fog around. There's not a lot of cloud cover across the region, and the combination of the increase in moisture and the fairly clear skies overnight and the calmer winds as well could lead to some patchy fog around tomorrow morning. Watch for that. A frontal boundary exists, carving its way through the very record warm high temperatures across the plains in the deep south. As it moves into areas like Kentucky and Tennessee, there's even been some rotating storms that have produced tornado warnings. Now, as that front moves closer to us, the thing is it's basically going to fall out. But there is a potential for some severe weather tomorrow in parts of the deep south as that front kind of lingers in that general area. Its impact on us is going to be very minimal indeed, but it will have some impact. As the front approaches us, the high-pressure ridge, which has been responsible for our abnormally warm weather, is going to sink south. And as it does so, we might start to develop a more westerly wind flow across the region, or at least a northwesterly wind flow. So that will help to kind of keep our temperatures down a little bit. Plus, the erosion of this high-pressure ridge will tend to keep our temperatures down a little bit. Not a lot. We'll still be above average. No doubt about that. We'll be in the 80s, unquestionably. But at least we won't be 86 tomorrow. We'll probably be more like 84, 85. So calm overnight, watch for morning fog, and then possibly cooler tomorrow. Now, one thing we'll have to watch with this shift in wind is the potential for some more irritants in the air from red tide. The reports of the water samples that came in on Friday did show some elevated amounts of red tide, or some high, actually, concentrations in the waters of our northern bays and beaches. Now, the red tide air samples, the air samples at the beaches by Mote Marine volunteers today, only showed one location that had appreciable irritants in the air. So that's good. And our winds have been offshore and brisk, which of course helped today as well. Now, over the course of the next day or two, our winds are going to shift more to a westerly direction. So we'll see if perhaps that might impact some of those air qualities reported by Mote Marine observers. Locally, I think we're going to enjoy some fairly decent weather again tomorrow. Warm with most of the dry air locked to the north. I mean, the really bright skies and the colder air. We'll look for an east wind coming in at about 10 knots, decreasing by tomorrow afternoon northwest at about 10 knots. So a mix of sun and clouds for the next several days. But then On Thursday, a front comes through. It's a potent front. It'll come through during the night with a small chance of showers, clear out our skies, and drop our temperatures significantly from the 86 we saw today to a 66 for a daytime high on Friday. Many people will feel that a little bit on the cool side. Haley?
I would say so. Thank you, John. And now the Suncoast Traffic Watch in Manatee County. There is an accident on I-75 and 2 northbound lanes are blocked around the US 301 exit. It is tying up traffic for several miles. Come the new year, millions of workers across the country will get a raise. The minimum wage is set to rise in 21 states and at least 22 cities. Some of those raises will be very minor, a cost of living adjustment equal to extra nickel or an extra dime an hour. But in several places, the jump will be between $1 and $2 an hour. Most of the increases will take place in January on the 1st, including here in Florida, where minimum wage will go from $8.05 an hour to $8.10 an hour. If you received a gift card this Christmas that you really don't want, you do have some options. The National Retail Federation says about $1 billion worth of gift cards go unused, but you can get rid of these cards without wasting them. Regifting is an easy solution, but you can also sell it. There are card exchange websites to buy and sell gift cards. Coinstar also offers cash for cards, and Target will accept gift cards from several major brands in exchange for a Target card. You want a free coffee? Well, you may be in luck. Starbucks is in the middle of its 10 days of cheer. The coffee chain is giving away a free tall espresso drink to customers from 1 to 2 p.m. at 100 of its coffee houses each day in what it's calling pop-up cheer parties. And these locations change every day, so you have to keep checking back. The store locations are posted on the Starbucks Cheer website. Starbucks is also offering cheer cards, which offer discounts on drinks and food at participating locations. The 10 days of cheer event runs through January 2nd. Hopefully it is coming to our area. Entertainment news is next.
At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7 weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
I'm Joey Panic. Tomorrow on Suncoast View, comic daredevil Bello Knock joins us with surprise stunts, a Suncoast job career expert, and curry station in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Sarasota Institute of Lifetime Learning begins its 46th season on Monday, January 9th in Sarasota, Venice, and Lakewood Ranch. Meet Blair Tyndall, author of Mozart in the Jungle on Monday, January 9th, and information and intelligence expert Terry Roberts on Tuesday, January 10th. 72 global issues lectures by renowned experts. 24 musical conversations with great performers. Tickets are on sale now. For more information and to purchase season tickets, visit SILLSarasota.org.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Holiday scratch-offs are here, and oh, they make great surprises. Imagine the joy they will bring. With over $126 million in prizes, use them for a wreath or a place card for your feast. Attach them, scratch them, and let the magic happen. Holiday scratch-offs. The Florida Lottery has them. Just imagine.
Mourners are placing flowers and tributes at the steps of the gate of George Michael's home in England. The pop star died at his home in England on Christmas Day of apparent heart failure. His fans still in shock over his sudden death at just 53 years old. George Michael started his more than 30-year music career in the 80s in pop duo Wham! Before embarking on a wildly successful solo artist. He took on the music industry in his prime. He will be missed by fans everywhere.
But I know very sad for a lot of artists, but it was George Michael that got me. I think we grew up with him. It was the main thing.
The superstar was also a major philanthropist as well as an advocate for LGBT rights and an AIDS activist. Despite what you may have heard, Britney Spears is alive and well today. Earlier, Sony Music's Twitter account, which was apparently hacked, posted 2 tweets claiming Spears had died. The tweets have since been deleted, and Spears' rep has confirmed the pop star is alive. Sony Music's global head of communications has not commented on the hoax, but you will remember their emails were also hacked. At the box office this weekend, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, keeps its place on top, raking in $71.5 billion in ticket sales, not including Christmas Day or today. The animated film Sing came in second in its debut weekend, bringing in $35 million. And the deep space film Passenger, starring Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, came in third in its debut with $14 million. 2 other new releases, Why Him and Assassin's Creed, round out the top 5. The Bad Moms will be back for the holidays. Actress Kristen Bell announced on Twitter that a Bad Moms Christmas is headed to theaters next year. The Hollywood Reporter says Bell, Mila Kunis, and Kathryn Hahn will be back for the holiday-themed sequel, hitting theaters November 3rd, 2017. Should be a good one. We'll be right back.